Hello guys, this video is about trial balance in which we are going to study all the things related to trial balance. But before discussing it, you guys should know that in accountancy there are two important aspects which are debit and credit. And all the accountancy is based on these two terms. Debit includes three types of account which are assets, expenses and losses, whereas credit includes incomes, gains and liabilities. Now as you guys may know that in accounts there is an accounting equation according to which debit is equal to credit. Therefore, we can also say that debit or assets plus expenses plus losses equal to liabilities plus income plus gains. Okay. So, if you guys want to note it down, you can always pause the video and resume it after noting it down. So, let's move on to how to prepare trial balance. But before knowing how to prepare trial balance, we should know what is it and why to prepare it. Let's understand it with an example. See, humans have a nature about rechecking things whenever they do something which is important, especially when it comes to cash. For example, when we receive much cash from someone, we count it. Not just once, but twice or thrice, or even more than thrice. Similarly, a business is dealing with a lot of cash, and not just cash, but many different things like debtors, creditors, assets, capital, etc. And whenever a transaction happens in a business relating to any account that is personal, real or nominal, the accountant records it in journal entry first, which is also known as daybook. And after recording transactions in journal, they are then recorded into ledger accounts. Each account has a separate ledger account and entries related to each account are recorded into their respective ledger accounts. For example, our transactions related to machinery are recorded into machinery account, and after recording all the transaction ledger accounts are balanced. So after preparing journal and ledger account, a question arises whether we have prepared them correctly or not, and for this reason trial balance is prepared. Now we know the answer of our both question, that is what is trial balance and why to prepare it. And the answer is, it is a statement which is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy of the accounts, or to check if we have incurred any mistake in preparing such accounts or not. Now let's move on to how to prepare trial balance. But for this purpose we have to go to our previous slide first. Okay, so in this slide I told you about accounting equation which is debit is equal to credit, or assets plus expenses plus losses is equal to liabilities plus incomes plus gains. With the help of this equation trial balance is prepared. Now we will see how. So there are few steps which help us in preparing trial balance, which are: first is recording journal entries and preparing ledger accounts, because the purpose of trial balance is to check whether they are prepared correctly or not. Second step is closing the ledger accounts. Closing the ledger accounts means balancing them, that is making the both debit and credit side equal. Third step is preparing the format of trial balance, having three columns which are particulars, debit and credit. It is somewhat like this as shown in this slide. In the particulars column we write the titles of various accounts, and in the debit and credit column we write their balances. Fourth step is knowing which account is recorded on the debit side and which account is recorded on the credit side. Usually the accounts having debit balance in ledger accounts are recorded on the debit side, and accounts having credit balance are recorded on the credit side. So we can always judge it from the ledger accounts. But what if we are not given ledger accounts but only their balances, without mentioning whether they are debit balance or credit balance? For example, we are given building rupees 5 lakh, creditors rupees 90,000 and telephone expenses rupees 2,000. Then how will we record these accounts in trial balance? Because we don't know whether these accounts have a debit balance or credit balance. For this purpose, you should remember this basic assumption that all assets, expenses and losses are recorded on the debit side, and all liabilities, incomes and gains are recorded on the credit side. So here in this example, building and telephone expenses will be recorded on debit side, as building is an asset and telephone expenses are expenses, simple as that. And creditors will be recorded on the credit side, as it is a liability which a company has to pay. Now the fifth step is totaling the debit and credit side of trial balance and comparing their totals to check the arithmetical accuracy of ledger account. If the total of both debit and credit side is equal, it means that journal entries and ledger accounts are prepared correctly. And if they are not equal, it means there is some mistake in preparing journal entries and ledger accounts, or it could also be due to a mistake incurred in trial balance. Okay, so here is an sample example of trial balance which will help you in understanding trial balance. Here various ledger accounts are written on the particular columns or item column as shown in the trial balance. Before understanding why various accounts are recorded on either debit or credit side, let's revise what we studied before. That all assets, expenses and losses are recorded on debit side and all income, liabilities and gains are recorded on credit side. So starting with salary, salary is a form of payment to employees for services rendered. Therefore it is an expense for the business and all expenses are recorded on the debit side in the trial balance. Next is rent. Just as salary, rent is also an expense for the business. Therefore it will also be recorded on the debit side. Next is cash. Cash is an asset for the business and all assets are recorded on the debit side of trial balance. Next is debtors. Just as cash, debtors are also assets for the business. Therefore they will also be recorded on the debit side as shown in the picture. Next is sales. During sales, a business earns revenue. Therefore, it is an income for the business and all incomes are recorded on the credit side. Next is purchases. It is the opposite of sales where business has to pay for the goods, thus incurring expenses. Hence, it will also be recorded on the debit side as all expenses are recorded on the debit side. Next is furniture. It is an asset, therefore it will be recorded on the debit side. Next is loan from HSBC. It is a liability for the business and all liabilities are recorded on the credit side. Same as loan from HSBC, next is creditor which is also liability, hence it will also be recorded on the credit side. Now you can see that the total of both sides of the trial balance is equal, thus we can say that all accounts are prepared correctly. Okay, now let's revise what we have studied till now. First, trial balance is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy of the accounts, that is to know whether we have prepared all accounts correctly or not. Second, trial balance is a statement, not an account. Third, assets, expenses and losses are debited and liabilities, incomes and gains are credited in trial balance. Fourth, total of trial balance must be equal. Now let's study the importance of trial balance. First is, it summarizes all the financial transactions of the business. That is, the end result of all the transactions can be easily obtained from the trial balance. Second is, it checks the arithmetical accuracy of all the financial transactions of the business by comparing the total of debit side with total of credit side. Third is, it helps in locating error incurred in the recording of journal entries and preparing ledger account. Although it should be noted that not all errors can be located by the trial balance. That is error of commission, error of omission, etc., which will be studied at. Fourth is, it provides a basis for the preparation of the final account. That is, the final account such as profit and loss account and balance sheet are prepared with the help of trial balance. Now let's study about limitation of trial balance. Click on the video link above to know more about it. So if you guys like my videos, please like and comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's all.